This is why I am doing a full engine build.
So this is the carnage right here? Oh god. There's a glove over here with all the metal pieces. Well, at least you did.
Alright, well, it's time to take this sucker off. So I did a little bit of research and it's a little bit more difficult than I initially thought. So I was going to rent a puller from O'Reilly's, but I went ahead and found this for 23 bucks. So if that doesn't work, I'm gonna go back and rent the Chrysler puller. Yeah, puller. Pulley puller. So what I had to do is I put the, because we're turning the engine backward, well, you're trying to stop the engine from turning. And that's got, I think it torques like 240 pounds or something like that. I put the flywheel bolts in and stuck a pry bar in there. Now I did this a minute ago and only put them in a little bit, and it kind of stripped one a little bit. It kind of bent it sideways. So be sure to screw them in far enough to where they have enough meat inside the crankshaft. And I just wedged it. Now it took every bit of my force to break that, so it is broken now. But I wanted to get the process because apparently it's a bear, and we're only halfway. We're not even halfway there. We just got the bolt off. I was sweating because I watched a YouTube video and the guy said don't get the 12 point. I didn't want the 12 point, but they didn't have a 6 point. So I was stuck with this, and it's $9, and I was very close to going back and taking it back to O'Reilly's because I was real worried about stripping that, but I did not. And I think I read somewhere that you need to replace that. So you use the old one to torque it down to like whatever it was. It might have even been 275. Use the old one to torque it down. Then you put the new one in and torque that to something real light. Then you do torque to yield. I think it said like 150 degrees or something. So we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I just wanted to throw this in the video that this is coming out, and we're gonna see if that, oh man, I'm not sure that puller's gonna work. I'm gonna fiddle around with that puller and see what I can figure out. Okay, what I did is I put the bolt back in, but not all the way. It's a beefy bolt. It's like 4 or 5 inches long. There is a spike at the end of this shaft, so I might have to, if that wants to fall to one side, I might have to grind that down. But as you can see, these hooks are hooked back in here on these little flat spots just perfectly. So I figure I'll just get the camera and see. Okay. Okay. There is a tool, I don't know what it's called. It looked small in the picture, but I saw it on a video and it's pretty big. It's about that big at least. It's flat, it's steel, and it's something to do with the flywheel or the crankshaft, and it's kind of lopsided looking. I don't think it's that expensive. It's a little bit more expensive than you would think by what it is, because it's just a piece of steel. But what it does is it stops the engine from turning over. I read somewhere that it was very handy. This is what that's for, this kind of stuff. I would recommend just buying it, because this isn't the first time I'm going to have this problem, or the second rather. Okay. Oh, you know what? I read somewhere that you might want to get measurements, but I'm replacing it with new stuff, so this is kind of off to the side for some reason. Yeah, it's creeping over. Damn it. I'm gonna go ahead and grind this like I thought I might have to. Well, it pushed it flat. It pushed it flat already. Maybe I will drill a hole in the end of that bolt. Keep it from walking around. That's actually exactly what I'm going to do. Alright. Started it with a pilot hole so it wouldn't walk around. Stepped it up. And put a little hole in there. So the tip of this will sit in there. And it'll keep it from moving sideways. Yeah, it's moving. That was 5W30 on the threads. Oh, what a good feeling. Oh, it's definitely moving. We're in. Oh man, now the bolt's spinning. So now I'm fighting against the bolt. The bolt is tightening in. I'm trying to pull out. Oh man, I didn't anticipate that. It's working. Now we ran into the bolt again. That's fine though. I know this isn't the most exciting thing, but it actually might help somebody, because if I didn't watch videos, I would have been stumped. I've only done a few harmonic balancers, and it's been 25 years. And a steering wheel. I've got a steering wheel puller, but it only uses 2 bolts. And it's for specific to the Tahoe Suburban. It's basically out. I could probably hammer it the rest of the way. I will more than likely be replacing this, but it's not nearly the tension that it was earlier, so I'm not worried about stripping it out. Dang, we ran into the bolt again. I'm sure there's a way you could stick something down into the crankshaft. I just I couldn't think of something. Maybe yeah, see, we're out of we're out of threads. See, there's nothing to push against. I really need like a quarter or something that I could push against the quarter. Oh, why did I do that? Give me a minute. I'm going to figure out how to do this. Alright, I'm not sure if it's going to work, but this is a step up adapter, or step down. 1/2 inch to 3/8. As long as we can get it in there and stay, I think we can make this work. Man, I hate doing this on camera. It's so boring. Okay, got it. Alright, we'll just put another extension on it. So the issue was if this post had nothing to push against, it was going in the hole. So we had to stop it, and it was still too short, so we threw another adapter in there. It got kind of threaded. It's not a big deal. It's not going to mess it up. This is very hard steel. But that was enough. So there we go. All right, as we move on through the teardown. So I'm almost positive this is a Gen 3. I think that is the cam sensor. I've just been reading articles trying to figure out if this is Gen 3 or Gen 4. I'm like 95% sure this is a Gen 3. I think what makes a Gen 4 is the variable valve timing, and I think it's up under here. So this will be the second or third cue that tells us we do have a Gen 3. Oh my gosh. cut. There we go. That is a 10 millimeter, I think. Yeah, 10 millimeter. I can't believe you can't use standard on an American car. Okay, I'm gonna leave that in actually. Ay, ay, ay. There might be a, I don't know if you can see, I put cardboard down because there will be some fluid, some residual. There's a $5 word for you. I will be reusing this cover, so I need to be careful because it's probably aluminum. Yeah, that's aluminum. Ugh. That sprayed oil all over me. So far, they all are the same length. I think the oil pump is back here too, which that is a change from the Gen 2 small block. I think it was down here. No, that was a fuel pump was here. Oh, it was back near the distributor. All right, there's no doubt a gasket here. There we go in all her glory. This is a seal. We'll be replacing that. We're basically going to be doing a completely new motor. A few parts will remain, but oh man, is there supposed to be that much slack? I mean, I'm all about large clearances. That's why I like Glock and AK. AK more than Glock. But that seems excessive. Maybe it swells out when it gets hot. You know what? I forgot that part. I was going to do that with the torch. I was going to heat up the harmonic balancer pulley or crank pulley. But it worked out. But just for future reference, that actually works well. I've seen quite a few videos where not particular that particular part, but like on the differential, there's some parts in there. But so I'm trying to take a mental note of where there's gaskets, so if I'm doing a video putting this together and not paying attention because I cannot multitask, then I will hopefully remember, oh yeah, there's a gasket at the bottom there, which there is a gasket on the bottom. Oh, you know what, that's the valve cover, excuse me, oil pan. So that's the oil pan gasket. We'll probably be flipping this here in a minute. I just wanted to get some finality to it being a Gen 3, and it's a Gen 3. And I'm actually happy about that because it costs more money to do the VVT delete. It's all I wanted was the most simple motor possible, and here it is. I think there's some advantages, like the Gen 4 might have a little bit more power, but we can put as much power as we possibly want on this engine, so I didn't care about that. I wanted simplicity, reliability, and it's been around longer, so it has more support behind it, more people with experience. There's absolutely nothing wrong with a Gen 3. All right, that would I'll figure out what I'm doing next. Catch you up. All right, I believe this is the oil pump. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the oil pump, so we're just gonna pop that off. I want to pay attention to the size of the bolts because they have different lengths. Oh, those take the pump apart. Okay, never mind. Looks like I got 4. I will be replacing this with, if you put a gun to my head right now, I would do the it's higher velocity, not volume. I've read a couple arguments on either side. If you do the high volume, you can run your pump dry. I don't want to do that. Seems simple enough, but I don't know what the rest of it looks like. Okay, so that's the tube that goes down into the oil pan. I don't know how it's connected. Oh, maybe I'll have to drop the valve cover. Valve cover, dadgummit. Oil pan. Let's see how much movement it's got. Yeah, it's connected with the oil tube. Okay, well, it's time to flip her. Actually, a lot more oil than I anticipated. I'm glad I put that cardboard down. Oh my gosh, it's getting everywhere. I am actually going to lay some cardboard down. So when I pull this off, and I need to get some gloves. This grease, I have, for some reason, the grooves in my fingers are so deep. I can never get grease out of my hands. So I'm going to grab some gloves and a piece of cardboard. I'll probably lay the oil pan right over there. This is the very first thing I ever welded that was something besides just practicing steel. It's horrible, but I actually get to use it. It's an oil filter remover. It's such a cheap piece of junk. It spun out the plate that latches onto the socket, so I'll actually be able to use it. We might replace the oil filter too. Oh, don't tell me it warped. Oh, it warped. All right, so I had to grab the replacement, and this is a good time. This is a tech tip. Somebody from, I think, Advanced Auto told me, you know, if these are too loose and they go to slide, if you put like a plastic bag over it, like a Walmart bag, and then put it on, it works. And I have tried it before. It does work. I don't think we'll need it, but who knows. All right, let's start ripping these off. Of course, it's a different size nut to get the, I forgot what it's called. I think it's like a valley cover or something like that. If anything exciting happens, I'll turn the camera on. I know this is pretty exhilarating. I don't know what this thing's called. I'm going to call it the oil pan valley cover or something. So I went ahead and popped this oil tube, that one bolt out. As soon as we remove the tube, I'm going to put the bolt right back in there because it is different than all the other ones. I got to say, this is nice. I've got an air gun, air ratchet. This is better. But if you're not working on something that often, I recommend just using hand tools that keep you strong. In the Western world, in modern times, you got to put in extra effort to stay physically strong. Everything's so easy. But like I said before, I'm the strongest man in the world 7 years in a row, so I don't have to really worry about it. That's why I use electrical. I'm just going to go dump this. Okay, yeah, that's the O-ring I read about. Sometimes when they install, they mess it up. That one looks perfect. Pickup tube actually has some junk in it. There they are. Now here's that bolt I was talking about. I'm going to put it right back in the oil pump that feels like it's about to fall off. Yeah, we'll be replacing it, but it'd be good to keep this as a backup. Something so small and simple keeps the engine alive. That's just crazy to me. Also, I was thinking we'll probably have to turn the motor to get to some of these bolts. So we'll just use that bolt again and crank it over. Also, I'm not mad because it still might be true. But I asked the guy at O'Reilly's. He's my guy too. He's always very helpful. If you need any kind of special tools, and he said, you know, you need the 12-point star. So I bought a set of those, and I haven't seen one bolt with them. But the bolts I will be putting on here might require that. So I'm not that mad. It was only like 30 bucks, but still, I mean, I got so much stuff to buy. I'm not trying to spend money just to show I can spend money. Man, I'm glad I put this cardboard down. All right, I'm pretty happy to report this. I've got an engraver somewhere. I was gonna have to dig it out because I was gonna engrave these. I probably will do that on the rods. But the main caps are already numbered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is hugely helpful. I don't think the pistons are, but rods, I haven't looked. But that's nothing a little piece of tape can't fix, and then I'll engrave it later. But again, these are just going to be backup. The whole reason I am rebuilding this is because of the rods. From what I've read, that's the failure point when you throw on boost. Oh, that's right. That's the so that's, is that a 24? Man, but that actually looks more than 24. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That was another thing about the Gen 3 versus Gen 4 is, I forgot what it's called, but one of them had 24 and one of them had 58 teeth. And what it does, the higher number of teeth increases the accuracy. So if you think of a computer, it's kind of like having a twice as fast refresh rate. So I forgot what they're called, but it's part of the crank. And that's something you need to know when you buy your crank. Which number do you have, 58 or 24? And I don't know, there's two of them here, so I'm even twice as confused now. But we'll figure it out. I just wanted to show you these are numbered. That's helpful. And I'll probably just engrave them as I'm pulling them out. I'll probably just engrave it on the side and throw them in a box. All right, I'm looking at this and I'm trying to just think what needs to come off next. I think because there aren't lifters in there now, I should probably pull the cam out. And I forgot which bolt they use to pull the thing out, because I'm not going to be able to get my hand in there and help it. So I guess when I pull this timing cover or timing chain off, I'll figure out what bolt. But it's a bolt that I have. I just don't know which one it was. I can't remember. I'm curious to see if this is going to be strong enough to loosen it. Oh, wow. Huh. Interesting. I did not expect that. I thought some people put thread locker on that. It didn't feel like it had it. I can't believe this is gonna happen. There's a way, yeah. Oh, that's great. Wait, is it supposed to come out the rear? Man, it sure looks like it. I hope not. I feel like there's a ledge on there and it went out pretty easily. I wonder if it's supposed to go out the rear. It's possible. Yeah, I'm gonna chill out on that. Yeah, I'll look up on how to. I really just need to find a bolt. Let me go back to what I was gonna do anyway and just find a bolt. Actually, it definitely comes out the rear, because that big old thing is twice as wide. So there is no possible way. Here. There's no way that big old thing is coming through. See the shiny thing? That's like at least 50% bigger. So we'll have to pull the cam out when we put it back on the cherry picker to put it inside the car. All right, well, now we're going to the main caps and then we'll start on the rods. All right, I'm willing to bet money that the Ryobi is not going to pull the main caps off. This is a 15 millimeter. What is going on there? Maybe it's not a 15 millimeter. Oh my gosh. Now what? Oh my gosh, the socket is broken. The socket is broken. So it's expanding. Dang it. I don't know if I have another 15. Maybe a 5/8 will work. That's loose. Oh my gosh, they're different sizes. Why do they do this? I really do hate taking these off. I'm sure this was a perfectly functioning engine. All right, well, that's a 15. I guess the inside's a 14. which of course I don't have a 14, I have a 9/16, so I'm curious to see if that's gonna work. That gummit, General Motors. Oh, it's a 13. Well, they all feel like they were torqued perfectly. And then of course we got, looks like a 10 millimeter. 3 different size bolts. Now you tell me why that's necessary. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure you're supposed to put sealant on the ends of these because all of these are covered in oil. So if you don't do the sealant, the oil will leak. I don't think it matters where these bolts go. I'll be replacing them anyway with ARP. You know, I argue with myself back and forth. I was gonna do ARP studs, but I don't think I need to. I'm not planning on taking this engine apart. However, on the race car, I will be doing ARP studs because that's something that it's possible, it's more likely that that's gonna need a head gasket job or something like that. So on this, I'm just gonna do ARP regular bolts. It's just an extra $200 that I don't need it. Now, if there was a strength issue, then I would do it. But the ARP bolts are very strong. All right, 13 and 15, or 5/8 in this case. I'm excited to see these bearings. I bet they're gonna be immaculate. That felt like it was, oh, more junk. I'm gonna have to read about that because that is noticeable. The ones in the center of the engine are just perfect. Look like they were just put in there. But the ones on the ends are just gummed up like crazy. So I'm gonna have to look into why that is. Yeah, see, again, it's just covered in junk. The 2 up here and the 2 back here. I think, don't quote me, but I think main bolts are one-time use. But having them on hand in an emergency, I think you could probably get away with a couple of them. I'm guessing, don't take my word for it. You can see it down in there, it's gum. Kind of gummy. Perfect. Perfect. That one's not bad. And that one's not bad. So it's the 2 on the inside, which I think are closer to the bearing. I wonder if it has something to do with the bearing. All right, moment of truth. Let's get the light on and see that sparkle. You know what? I should probably take the pistons off first. Yeah, they're not bad. They're not bad. There's no deep grooves or anything. I mean, I'm spreading oil all over it, but yeah, I think I should actually take the pistons out first. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Because we're going to need to turn this, and it's going to be weird to turn it. I think we'll be all right if I leave the bolts out. But if I run into a problem, then we'll run into a problem. All right, so we're going to move on to the rods. Now, I'm going to put them in order inside that box, but just in case. I'm just going to get this footage. Most of it is just going to probably be sped up, if I even use it at all. So, I just don't have any knowledge to give. But seeing the process is half the battle. Getting in your mind what to expect. At least for me. Yet another bolt size. Looks like it's an 11 millimeter. I do not think this is going to be strong enough. All right, we'll just do 2 at a time, I guess. I don't think the bolt matters if it's 1, 2, 3, or 4. Again, we're not reusing them. They want to stay on the rod cap, so I'm just going to leave them. Yeah, that's unbelievable. I don't remember. I don't think I even looked at the mileage on that car, but it's got to be at least 150,000 miles. That's unbelievable. How many revolutions, and there's not one groove in it. Those would run another 100,000 miles. I would bet $10,000. Man, that's impressive. Standard. If you turn your crank or something, like if it's got a rough spot, you've got to get oversized bearings. I would be comfortable using these again. There's a little bit of shiny there, but it's even. Doesn't look like it's lopsided any side. I think that's the wrist pin. I think that's actually where they break. Often. I've heard the rods bend near the wrist pin. Often. Not on stock power. Not even 500 horse. But like when you get to 1,000 or more. And there's an upgrade you can do. I've heard these are a pain. I forgot what they're called, but they're kind of like a spring, sort of, that you kind of weave in there or rotate it in there. And these are the piston skirts, I think. The wear pattern's even. Looks good. Other than carbon, this is impeccable. No cracks. Yeah, I'll definitely clean these up and keep them on hand. You never know. Actually, I won't be able to use them in this because I'm boring it. But like I said before, those were close to each other. That's not good. Get some blow by there. You want those separate. There is a feature. I don't know if it's a special ring or all rings. But they put a little notch or a little dot on the bottom oil ring so that it can't rotate. It catches those little gaps. I think it's a genius idea. So simple, but so effective. All right, we've got number 1 out. I can't believe how good they are. There might be 300,000 miles on that Yukon. I don't know. I got to go back up there to get the gas pedal. So I'm going to go check. And I'm going to check on the white truck too. Can't believe I didn't look. I was so focused. Honestly, I had looked at so many vehicles. I thought this will probably not work either. I thought they were just another car to look at. I don't know what the trick is for this. Now I do. I mean, there is the slightest little bit of scratching, and it's just that. It's just scratching. It's not even grooves. I can't even catch it with my fingernail. That's just unbelievable. And I've heard these cranks will handle 1,000 or more. Let's see, which way do they face? I want to know. So the number is on the driver's side. I think this is a thrust bearing. It's what keeps it going forward and backward. You have to do something special with it. I don't know what it is yet. I don't remember. Dude, that's good for another 1,000 or 100,000 miles. Same. Beautiful. Unbelievable. I hate that I'm taking this apart, really. I've had arguments with myself many times. I'll just throw it in there and throw the turbo on it. See, the problem is it would do the initial build that I'm doing, which will probably be 700-ish crank. What it won't handle is in 2 years when I get tired of 700 horsepower and I turn it up or do a twin turbo or add 300 shot NOS. That's when it's going to become a problem. That's why I'm making myself do this. Also, gapping the rings is a big reason. When you've spent as many hours as I have broken down on the side of the road, comes a time where you say, I'm not taking any more shortcuts ever. I'd rather not do it than do it half-ass. All right, well, she's free. Put her on I'll wrap her actually in a trash bag. Keep the moisture off of her, because that's a good crank. I foresee easily collecting parts over the next 2 or 3 builds and just taking the leftover parts and building something and selling it. Get some of my money back that I've spent. And I'm honestly considering, if my motors, if I do 2 or 3 motors and they turn out solid, I might start building them on the side, a little side hustle. All right, it's time for the camshaft. Wait, I'm gonna have to put on the cherry picker. I will be taking this to the machine shop. So when, yeah, see, I don't like that. How did I see all these people? They must have had a different stand or something. That's kind of frustrating. Oh yeah, I can see a lip on it now. Wait a second. This plate. Oh my gosh, I can bring it out. Okay, cool. Let me start a new clip so it's all right, so actually let me show you, because I'm not good at describing things. My vocabulary is let's just say lacking. Let me show you. So what confused me, all the people I saw doing videos, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there's like an oil channel right there. And that's what it looked like when they were putting the cam in. So I saw it back there and I thought, well, dang, I guess I had it backwards. But I bet it's the same thing over here. This is probably the thing that you have to change the gasket often. Probably both of them. But I just didn't see the rear one. So I would bet money that this is where the cam comes out. Oh wow, yeah, it's not even sticky on there. I'm gonna call this cam retainer plate. Yeah, I think this is gonna have that groove that the oil comes through. Yep, that right there. That's the one they said every time you need to replace it, because it flattens out. It's designed to. But you can have oil leaks and you won't see the leak because it'll be leaking internally and you'll lose oil pressure. So yeah, now I can grab those pliers and I bet. Let me give myself some room here. I'm glad I found that. That was going to bother me all night. Lay my head down to sleep and go, man, I wish I had that cam out. There we go. That's more like it. This is still a good camshaft. It's unimpressive, but it's good. We'll throw this in a trash bag as well. I didn't think I was going to be getting it out, so that's why I didn't bring another one. But yeah, we'll throw that now. Cover it with oil, with Earl. All right, well, she's completely redone. That's another thing I forgot to add on the $400 at the machine shop. They clean it, they go over it, and they'll do cam bearings. So it's not $400 just to wash it. All right, cool. Well, we are completely done. I'm going to pop these, whatever they're called, out. You know what? I should have kept those with. I still can, actually. All right, looks like we're done. I'm going to knock these main bearings out, put them with the repair, and then this is completely done. There's one last thing. I don't know what this is, but I'm going to pull that out with some sort of sensor. And then now that cam position sensor looks like it'll push right out. So I'm glad we didn't force it. It looks like it's smushed in there with maybe some rubber, silicone, something to keep it from moving around. So I feel comfortable putting some force on it now that I know it's not going to break it. All right, I'm going to throw this in there. It did not want to come out and it felt like I was forcing it. So I started twisting it thinking maybe it came unscrewed. And I finally just put the pliers on it and plied a little bit. Pliers and pried up against that, and it just pushed right out. So whatever sensor this is, it's at the bottom of the block near the oil pan. You need to press it out. Actually, since I got the camera, I might as well see how this one does. The cam position. If that's what it is. Hold on. Oh yeah. Yep, that O-ring, something like that is what I was anticipating, keeping it from moving around. I'm definitely gonna put a brand new one in, a good one, because I don't like taking engines apart just to, because you wanted to save $7 on a sensor. Well, while I got you here, let's see. We might as well take a look at the block with the cylinders visible. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. There's some sort of plug over here. It's got an Allen head. I don't know what it is. Oh, here's one too. And there's a huge one also. Let me just show you. So there, Allen head. There, Allen head. And that's a huge one. And I guess the last thing I need to do is pop that off. I don't know what it is. I'll put it in a bag and say side of block. All right, let's take our final look at it. This will probably end out the video. I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, but those are really spectacular. I mean, just, I think the other day we found like one little tiny, somewhere over here. Yeah, right there. Just the tiniest little scratch. Look at that. What a brilliant design. See, this is what happens when you use good materials. That's top-notch steel right there. And in case anybody was wondering, 6.0L. You have no idea how happy I was to see that. All right, so I'm gonna clean it up a little bit because I'll be moving it and I gotta put it in my car. I'm gonna see if I can get some of these gaskets off. I don't know if that's what they do in the cleaning process, but I want to do everything I can. I need to read about these dowels. Are they supposed to be on the head? Because some of them were on the head. And some are still in the block. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm getting excited. We're going to have a new cam. And I'm going to have a big old cam. I'm going to get a cam as big as I can without starting to any more problems. I'm going to talk to somebody about what's the highest lift I want to get. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get 550 or 600 lifters, because I don't want, the whole point, the whole spirit of this engine is to be overbuilt, and I don't want to max it out on anything. So if there's any chance that this cam is going to need, let's say 542 lift, then I'm doing 6. I'm probably going to put 700 horsepower. So I want it to handle 11 or 12. I want everything overbuilt. And I've been watching a lot of 1320 videos, and it blows my mind how often people break down. Like, why? Racing is not new. You guys know what will break at what horsepower. Why is everybody constantly braking? I understand what they're going to say, but why would they not just overbuild it so they can use it on a regular basis instead of having to constantly work on it? The Dragon drives are one I'm watching now from like a year or two ago. It's unbelievable. Oh, speaking of which, it doesn't matter, but if my boy Dennis from the drag strip, he's got the Camaro in the drag he had the Camaro at the drag strip in the first video that I ever did. He was cool. He helped me out quite a bit, actually. I need to get a hold of him. He knows all these answers. I saw him on last year's, I think it was summer 2024. Ran out of gas once. He's driving a white Camaro, and two times he was on camera. I didn't quite recognize him the first time because of the angle, but for sure when I saw him broken down, it was for sure him. So shout out to Dennis. He's a fire chief somewhere. I don't remember which city or county, but anyway, I'm rambling now. This is probably going to be a really long, boring video. I'm going to try to shorten it as much as humanly possible, but a lot of this stuff I want to get a glimpse of it. So most of the footage I won't use. And if I do use it, most of it will be fast forwarded, so it's really short. All right. Thanks for hanging with me, and hopefully you learned something, or at least you can get an idea of what it's like to take down a 6-liter LS. See you on the next one.